You're very welcome back to the evening show. Now, our old friend Paul Kelly, the vet, is here with us, and he's brought some very interesting and venomous creatures with him for us to talk about. Paul, you're very welcome back.
Jimmy, thanks very much.
Now, the last time we were on, we were talking more about dogs and cats, but a lot of people are getting bored with the old order and they're moving on to exotica. Tell us why and what kind of things they're choosing.
Well, I think, first of all, the options out there are huge now. You can get so much more now than you used to be able to get 10 or 15, 20 years ago. You know, you got a hamster and that was it. Yeah. But now there's the range of snakes, and so many people are getting snakes. And, you know, some of them are very nice to look at. And I guess in apartments and particularly young boys, I think they just like having these different types of pets, you know, just a freaky sort of a snake, a big 13-foot boa constrictor or something like that. You know, it's something else. So
these are all safe to have around the house.
Technically a boa constrictor can do serious damage, you know. In the climate that we're in, they tend not to, but they can. And they're not the type of thing that you would let wander. You wouldn't go to bed and leave it loose downstairs, you know, like you were leaving your cat or your dog, you know, sleeping by the fire. But I think also there's a huge interest in people in learning about the wild, and they're seeing animals. And now they realize that they can get these boa constrictors or these tarantulas or you know, lizards like Elvis here, the bearded dragon, and they're just, I guess they can have them. Also, one thing I found is a few people have gotten them because they can't develop an allergy. Now, there's other things they can get, but they just have to be mindful of that, like wash their hands afterwards. But with some dogs would be dust and you know, asthmatics and that,
right.
And they can't handle. So that's one.
Yeah.
But I think it's it's different. It's and it's amazing. I was a judge at a show up in Mobile many years ago, and the girl that won the best pet she had turtles, but she knew everything about them, where they come from, their Latin name, everything, and so she got the prize. So.
And do you have to swat up now on all these new things?
Yes, I would have to a certain degree, because there's a new park, Tato Park, and I'm the vet there, so they're getting monkeys and they're marmoset monkeys. So yeah, there's. Yeah. And like, even though like there's an ocelot out there which is like a large leopard, a small leopard, but it's still, even though it's a cat, but it has different needs and requirements. So yeah, you'd have to a degree.
There is a snake in that box. Do I call that a box? Yeah.
This is just a transport box. Yeah.
Transport box. Yeah. And you can actually, you don't mind handling this horrible thing?
No, this guy I don't know.
Okay. Well, would you keep it to yourself and demonstrate what the blessed thing looks like? Oh, he's in there.
He's gone into the hide, but we'll just lift the hide. So here we go.
He'd make a nice belt, I'll tell you that straight away.
This is a corn snake, you know, and he's very nice.
Every time he moves, I feel myself crawling.
Yeah, he's a nice little thing. They're mostly they would be found in the eastern United States, in the cornfields, and that's where they got the name from. Supposedly, they look like the old the corn, the husks or that, but also because they go after the rodents that would be damaging all the corn in the cornfields and that. So corn snake, he could grow to about 6 foot, you know, and mice would be his staple. Any small little mammals and that, you know. But he's not poisonous.
You'd have to bring the mice to him.
Yeah, he'd get pinkies. Now this guy isn't mine, but yeah, he's fed.
You can put him back anytime you like to his bed. I think. Yeah. Some of the girls have gone running from the building already.
But he's you know, they're not so bad when you get to when you get handling them and that. They're not so bad. I mean, he's small. I mean, people will bring in sort of 12-foot, 13-foot pythons and they're powerful. But
and what can go wrong, like, for somebody? I mean, you know, if you go to your vet with what kind of problems?
It tends to be environmental, insofar as it's either too dry or too wet, too humid, I mean, they need humidity, but there's no ventilation in that. And mostly they would have they can get burns from the heat mats. Sometimes the heat pads should be underneath the box or the tank, And sometimes if they're put in by mistake and they can get a burn, they can get scalded. They can get respiratory infections, and I've seen a few that have just filthy, dirty noses because they're all clogged up, you know.
Do you want to put him as far away as you can from me on the sofa? And let's have a look at Elvis then. And tell us what
this
Elvis is.
This is Elvis. Elvis is a bearded dragon. And these are, I think, as regards as reptiles go, these have to be number one. These are fun. And whoops, my fellow. They've got real personality. They're easy to look after. Now they do need, in saying that, in starting off, you have to have your UV light, because they vitamin D, metabolism, the calcium, their heater pads, the tank, But once that, they can have great personality. And this guy he knows he's somewhere different, but he does have a bit of a. This guy has a bit of an attitude.
But you don't train them, do you, or house train them or anything like that?
No, but these guys. I have one that comes into me, and he loves watching The Simpsons. I know that there's a tank in the TV room, and when The Simpsons is on, he's stuck to the guy. And if you change it, he's knocking at the. And another one, the shepherd comes over and opens the door of the tank. He can, with his nose, and the birdie goes out onto his head, and they go off down and sit down and watch the telly. And these are nice. These would be my favourite now of all the reptiles that come in.
He's actually clinging on to you there.
He is, yeah.
He knows your touch. So what else are people going for then? Surprises?
You'll see people with spiders. I haven't seen a spider yet.
A pet spider?
Pet spider, yeah. I haven't seen any, but I know why. I don't know why they're getting spiders, but they are. And I know one of the pet shops that will sell them and that. I guess it's something, again, they have an interest. They like to look at them, but one of the more extreme ones are snails. And I guess the next step is like the Japanese rocks, where you have a pet rock and that. But snails, like going back to something more normal, wolves are, a wolfhound, a wolf crossed with a dog. There are a few of those around, and they are
in Ireland.
Yeah, there are, and I know there's a place, I won't mention where, you'll see the ad on the main road, wolf pups for sale, and they are amazing. When you see those, I've had one in, and when they look at you, you know this isn't your regular dog that's looking at you. They're in charge,
They want to eat you. That's
why they're telling you, look, they could if they would, but they're not bothered, and if they they're amazing animals, but. You can get, again, the coatimundi, which are raccoons. People have some of those. Not many people in Ireland have, but coatimundi are lovely creatures. But you'd get them in the wilds in North America and Central America and that, But
Rocky raccoon, yeah.
Rocky raccoon, yeah.
And Elvis. Elvis is what again? What?
He's a bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon, yeah. Yeah. He's a nice little fella. To be fair, he's cute.
He is. They're active and that and.
They're all safely back in their boxes. That's all I care about. I'd be dreaming about, that movie Snakes on the Plane.
Yeah, Snakes on the Plane. They'll be coming out of the...
looking at the chairs everywhere. Listen, Paul, thank you very much indeed for coming in with your mates.
Thank you.
And the next time you come in, a few cute puppies.
Show them something nice, like kittens or birds. Birds are popular.